From beautiful Wrigley Field on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, warm temperatures, wind blowing out. We're set for Cubs baseball here on the U. It's a Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports and Throwback Day. Hey, happy 68th birthday to Larry Bittner. He wore that uniform back in 1978. And great to have you with us. I'm Len Casper. We'll have the Cubs hosting the Cardinals here. First pitch in about 20 minutes. Kyle Hendricks, the rookie for the Cubs. It'll be veteran all-star Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals. The Cubs with a comeback win on Friday. The Cardinals turned the tables yesterday in a 6-3 victory. They had a big 4-run seventh that really told the tale. Matt Adams had 2 hits, knocked in 4. He had a double and a triple in the game. Jake Arrieta struggled early on, gave up 2 runs, but he was able to battle and keep his team in the ball game. It is Hall of Fame Day in Cooperstown. More on Greg Maddux going into the Hall as we continue. The leadoff man brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come test drive the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit myhyundaichicago.com. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come in and test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Cardinals and Cubs in the rubber match. Big day in Cooperstown as you have Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Frank Thomas, along with 3 Hall of Fame managers being inducted. In fact, Greg Maddux is ready to take the podium. And, you know, he spent his career basically between Chicago and Atlanta, finished up on the West Coast with the Dodgers and the Padres. And in terms of figuring out which cap to wear, Greg said it was a very tough decision.
Obviously, I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't play in Chicago. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't play in Atlanta. So, you know, pick one over the other. You know, to me, it just didn't feel right. So I did what I felt was right. You know, it felt right to me, and it was my decision. And you know, I made it. I'm very comfortable with it, and you know, I feel very fortunate to have played in Atlanta and Chicago, to be honest with you. For me personally, Lab, Bobby, you know, I spent half my career with those 2 guys. And, you know, I also got to pitch for Joe Torre and coach with him in that WBC thing. So, you know, Frank lives in Vegas, or used to live in Vegas, so I ran into him a lot. So it's pretty good for me personally, because I feel like I have a connection with just about everybody, you know. And Tony, you know, just, you know, try to make sure you beat him for 20 years. It's nice to finally be on his team.
Are you nervous at all about the speech?
Congratulations to goal number 31. Greg Maddux, 355 career wins, 133 coming with the Northsiders. We'll go first to third around the majors as we continue getting you set for Cubs baseball next. Man, brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come in and test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Welcome back to the ballpark. Cardinals come in sole possession of second in the Central, 3 games back of Milwaukee, and just a half game out for the second wild card spot in the National League. Let's go first to third around the majors. Clayton Kershaw just doing what Clayton Kershaw does, 12 consecutive games with at least 7 strikeouts. The Dodgers winning the first 2 games of that series in San Francisco. Now a half game up in the National League West. Jake Peavy later tonight will make his Giants debut, acquired from the Red Sox yesterday. And you see what Chris Sale did at Minnesota. The White Sox have won the first 3 games in that series. They go for the 4-game sweep in Minneapolis. We have the Cardinals and the Cubs. Wainwright and Hendricks coming up next. Gorgeous afternoon here on the north side of Chicago as WGN Sports on the U brings you Chicago Cubs baseball. The rubber match today, game 12 of this season series between the Cardinals and the Cubs. Great to have you with us, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. You probably noticed the logos from 1978. The Cubs wearing those powder blues with the white pinstripes. Should be a lot of fun today. Kyle Hendricks making just his third major league start. He's been impressive.
Yeah, he got his first big league win last time out. His first ever start here at Wrigley Field against the Padres. Changeup sinker combination really working well for him in that game. He got a ton of ground ball outs. 3 double plays turned behind Kyle Hendricks in that game. So 2 big league starts. He was resourceful in the start against Cincinnati. He was really good against San Diego. Now he'll have to take on the Cardinals. There are the numbers from that start against the Padres. 7 innings, allowed just 5 hits, no runs, walked 3, punched out 5.
Adam Wainwright is one of the best in the business. Definitely a Cy Young candidate in the National League, but those pesky Cubs have gotten to him.
Indeed they have. He's got a win, a loss, and a no decision in 3 starts against the Cubs this year with an ERA of 6. 9-7 in his career against the Cubs. 6-1, however, here at Wrigley Field.
Let's throw it down to the field now. Michael McDermott with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Michael McDermott as he honors our nation with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide through the night with light from above, from the mountain to the prairie, through the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and the home
Wiser, designated driver, and enjoy the great times. Ford, manufacturers of America's best-selling brand. Check out our best-selling lineup at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Let's hear it from Greg Maddux in the midst of his Hall of Fame acceptance speech, talking about the great Chicago Cubs fans.
The city of Chicago and all Cub fans were awesome, maybe the best in baseball. I was glad to be part of a division championship in '89. Although we didn't get to the World Series that year, playing all the home games at Wrigley Field were really special.
Good stuff from Greg Maddux. Haven't heard all of the speech, but I guess he's mentioning all the guys who caught him in his illustrious career, which is a nice touch. And a nice day for baseball as the Cubs try to even up the season series. So let's get the uniform thing, wouldn't say out of the way, but that's going to be a big topic. These uniforms certainly stand out. The 1978 road uniforms. Baby blue with the white pinstripes. And the Cardinals are wearing uniforms, as they say, inspired by 1978. Now, a lot of fans will say, no, they were wearing the baby blue as well. That's true, but you don't want to have two teams wearing the same colors, so they're going with the gray. It's almost kind of like their '85 look with the pullover, but no belts today on the field.
Sansa belts day at the ballpark. 1978 Chicago Cubs finished 4 games under 500 under Herman Franks. Third in the NL East. Billy Buckner hit .323. This was club loaded with mid-20s guys, 27, 28, 29 years old. Fairly young ball club. Bruce Sutter had 27 saves on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Even had people chasing the ball down the street.
Well, these are not my favorite Cub uniforms of all time, but I think for a throwback day, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, and you feel like you're at a softball tournament. That's what I think when I see these unis. I think the softball tournament.
And we will be featuring great TV themes from the 1970s. You just heard Good Times, which, of course, was set in Chicago. Carpenter, Wong, and Holiday at the top of the Cardinals lineup. Matt Adams with a big day yesterday, second in the National League in batting. Johnny Peralta's at short. A.J. Przinsky, what a debut. He went 3 for 4 in his first game with St. Louis. Taveras is in right, Jay in center. And Adam Wainwright can handle the bat. He can field his position. He'll hit 9.
And the Cubs defensively, Coughlin, Alcantara, and Sweeney left, center, right. Infield, Valbuena, Castro, Bonifacio, and Anthony Rizzo third to first. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Kyle Hendricks, the young right-hander, makes the start this afternoon. It's his third. Talked about that in the open. He pitched well after giving up some early runs against Cincinnati. Hung in there. Got a no decision and then a win last time out. His first as a big leaguer against the Padres. So 2 starts, 13 innings, 10 hits. 1 long one, 6 walks, 12 punch outs. He was 10-5 down at AAA Iowa.
Now the umpires, and at some point we've got to talk to MLB about getting them into the spirit. We're going to have a throwback day. Why not wear those 1970s umpire outfits? Mike Winters with the big balloon chest protector, but not meant to be. I would think he'd get a kick out of it. Something different?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. They may feel like it would influence their strike zone, maybe. You know, you could maybe do some kind of a mock-up that approximated the old balloon chest protector.
Well, as we get started, I've often wondered, and I've talked to some people in the game with a lot of alternate unis and these throwbacks. What if history is made today, and in that time capsule when we go back to show Kyle Hendricks throwing a no-hitter against the Cardinals, everyone going, what were they wearing in 2014?
Yeah, they have to be a little.
Have to remind people.
Yeah, a little crawl at the bottom of the video. These uniforms were only worn once that year, despite the fact that Kyle Hendricks demanded to wear it every time he started from that point thereafter. Rocking the stirrups.
Here's his 1-0 to Carpenter. And the cutter misses low. Got a northwest wind right now, which means it's basically blowing out toward right.
A lot of left-handed bats in the lineup for the Cardinals today. That was the case for the Padres in his last start, and I said it then, I'll say it again today. I think they're doing him a favor because that changeup really plays well against the left-handed lineup.
Kind of a hybrid crosswind and blowing out to right. 3-2 the count. Colton Wong is on deck.
These left-handed hitters get a little greedy and start trying to pull that ball into the seats in right field. That changeup will really play well.
Popped up. The wind's going to grab it though, and it drops. Yeah, that's a mistake right there. This is the kind of day with a wind blowing out where you cannot give up on a foul ball. Normally that ball's 10 rows back behind the dugout.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Don't be fooled. Go all the way. If it drifts out of play, no harm done.
So that extends the at bat here for Carpenter.
Valbuena's playing him to pull, so he's way off the line at third. And Matt Carpenter not the guy you want to give a second chance to. I didn't see the break Valbuena got on that pop-up. It's just that's a ball that when it's in the air that long, somebody should be able to catch it.
That's, I think, the best way to put it.
Whether it was Luis or Welly, somebody should have been able to haul that one in. Carpenter, line drive hitter, does just that. Leadoff man aboard. The Cardinals scored 2 in the first yesterday, 3 in the first on Friday. So the Cubs having to play from behind in both the first 2 games of this series.
I will tell you this, and on this homestand, here's a pitch. Wong bunts foul. Chris Coghlan hit a fly ball to left. He didn't know where it was, or he thought it was going to be foul, and he didn't get out of the box very quickly. The ball was caught. Wellington Castillo hit a dribbler back to the mound. Apparently he didn't know where the ball was. He did not get out of the box quickly. Yesterday Valbuena did not really bust it down to first, at least out of the box, on a ball Colton Wong had some trouble with. Those have been addressed. They've been noticed, and I think that foul ball too. So if you're sitting at home going, are they paying attention in the dugout? Yes, they are. I think for the most part, JD, in terms of not running a ball out, you kind of get one mulligan and then maybe put on notice.
Yeah, and
we've had a few this week.
Right, and what happens is when, as a player, you make certain assumptions, you get a little mentally lazy, and you hit what you think is a routine ground ball, and you're going to be easy out, so you don't sell out going down the line. Then the guy boots it or makes an errant throw and a play you should have beat. You don't, and you get embarrassed, and the manager gets embarrassed, and that's when you have that conversation. And conversation needs to happen whether you get embarrassed or not. Even if the guy makes the play, that's when the player needs to be reminded, hey, you don't have to go down the first baseline like a world-class sprinter every time you hit a routine ground ball, but you got to give me a good solid effort.
Rizzo to Castro. Hendricks covering, and he got him at first. And here comes Mike Matheny. So Hendricks a little bit awkward as he tried to find the bag, but apparently he beat Wong to it, and at the moment 2 outs.
Now we're going to look to see whether Kyle got the base or not as he's receiving this throw from Castro.
Can't tell there.
It's kind of a blurry view on our monitor. I think the right heel.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
So he steps on the dirt, but his toe might be touching the front of the bag right there. And no review.
Well, 3 double plays turned while Hendricks was in the game last time. The Cubs actually turned 4 in that ball game against the Padres, and here's number 1 this afternoon. Good turn by DeJesus out there.
So now we're going to start dropping 78 references. Okay, as long as I know. Buckner to DeJesus to Russell. 3-6-1.
Which doesn't look like Big Daddy, but yeah, Big Daddy was an extreme ground ball pitcher.
Rick and Paul. It's a bit earlier in the 70s without the pinstripes.
Primary starters on that club: Rick Russell, Dennis Lamp, Ray Burris, Dave Roberts, Mike Krukow.
Raider behind the plate. Buckner, Trio, DeJesus, Ontiveros around the infield. Left to right, Kingman, Gross, Mercer. Deep center. Gone. A home run for Matt Holliday into the basket. His second homer of the series, his 10th of the year.
The slugging numbers for Matt Holliday way off so far this year. Cardinals hoping for a big second half from Holliday, and not unreasonable to expect that. He's a guy who's really turned it on in his career after the All-Star break. See what he gets here from Kyle Hendricks, trying to go down and away, and the fastball runs right over the heart of home plate.
Adams bounces foul. Nice barehanded pick by Chris Maloney.
Cubs changing their strategy a little bit with Holliday in this series. Normally they like to pound him in, but I think they felt like he was starting to get wise to that, and they have been working him away a little bit more.
Left field, Coughlin on the dirt, and he makes a catch to end the inning. The Cardinals strike first again, 1-0. With seamless connectivity. Big day yesterday for Bonifacio. Alcantara's in center. Rizzo, Castro, Valbuena, and Coughlin in the middle. It's Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Ryan Sweeney's homered 2 times in this series, and the pitcher Hendricks still looking for his first hit.
Cardinals in the field. Holliday, Jay Taveras, left, center, right. Third to first, Carpenter, Peralta, Wong, and Patch Adams. A.J. Pierzynski, his second game with the Cardinals, behind the plate. For the veteran right-hander Adam Wainwright, his worst outings of the year last time. 4 2/3, allowed 4 runs to the Rays. For the year, 12-5 with a 2.02. He's a good one. Doesn't walk many. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's only allowed 4 home runs. Gets a lot of ground balls.
He imploded in the 5th inning against Tampa Bay in that start on Tuesday. Very strange sight. He apparently had some sort of mechanical issue that he feels he has corrected. It was a 7-2 loss. There's the bunt popped up. Adams will make the catch. JD, he walked 3, hit a batter, gave up 2 hits, committed an error, gave up 5 runs in that inning. That might be the worst inning of his career.
Pretty solid, steady performer. And boy, look at these numbers. That whip below 1. It's elite stuff. OPS of 545. I mentioned the ground ball rate. That's above league average. His walk rate is actually up a little bit this year over last, but still better than league average, as is the strikeout rate. It's fastball, curveball, cutter, change. 4 quality pitches, real good curve. Does a lot of good work down below the knees with movement.
Ball 1 on Alcantara. Yeah, Wainwright called that start a train wreck. Been an interesting couple of weeks for Wainwright, hasn't it? He was the National League starter in the All-Star game, got into some hot water by admitting, at least for a few innings, he had essentially grooved a couple of heaters to Derek Jeter on his game opening at bat, which resulted in a double.
Well, that was the moment, right? Jeter comes to the plate, the whole place is on their feet, and I think maybe just the verbiage got him in trouble, and then the fact he tried to backpedal.
Pipe shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he said, let's take a look at what he said. Good curveball there to get Alcantara. I was going to give him a couple of pipe shots. He deserved it. And, I think what he's saying is, I just wasn't going to throw him a BP fastball, put a little something on it. But I think, the idea is, hey, it's Derek Jeter. It's his last All-Star game. You want to attack him. You want to be aggressive. Challenge him. Throw something in the strike zone. Let him take a whack at it. I've got no problem with it. That was blown way out of proportion.
Yep.
But that's the world we live in.
Curveball to Rizzo for a strike.
I think had he just said, hey, I just wanted to challenge the guy. I wasn't going to try to pick the corners. I wasn't going to try to trick him. I was going to challenge him.
It was an inarticulate way of putting it. Swing and a miss. Or actually, some may say it was very articulate. He said exactly what he meant. And I don't have any problem with that either. Rizzo ended a career best 10-game hitting streak yesterday. 0 for 4. He did not get a run. Wainwright likes to work quickly.
Wainwright, big guy, but he's not an overpowering guy. Doesn't throw particularly hard. Great control, good movement, and a nice mix of pitches.
On the ground, it'll be scooped by Wong, the second baseman. And a 1-2-3 for Wainwright. Cardinals with a 1-0 lead after an inning. WGN Cubs.
Hello world, here's a song that we're singing.
Come on, get happy.
Come on, get happy.
I'd say the 70s might have been the best decade for TV show themes.
Yeah, they get buried deep into your brain and they stay there for a long time.
Curveball strike on Johnny Peralta. 1-0 Cardinals on a Matt Holliday home run. Kyle Hendricks facing the Cardinals for the first time. Hit hard on the ground, backhanded, knocked down. Valbuena, does he have time? He does. Nicely done. He didn't panic. And he gets his man.
Yep, sharply hit to the hot corner off the heel of the gloves. Got a little time to recover. Heaves it on over there accurately for out number 1.
Hello, AJ. AJ Pierzynski signed yesterday. In the lineup again after a 3-hit performance. Cut earlier this month by the Red Sox. He has thrived in his career here in this ballpark and against the Cubs. Big reason why he gets booed.
He got a big ovation. He might not know what to do. Tip his cap and pop up to the catcher, perhaps. Not biting on the changeup. Pierzynski, a guy that rarely walks, normally looking to swing the bat. Suspect if this pitch is close, he'll be taking a whack at it.
He does, and he sends it into the right field corner. Here comes the throw towards second. Not in time. It's a double. Pierzynski 4 out of 5 as a Cardinal.
Got out there in a hurry and it was well played by Sweeney. I think halfway between first and second, Pierzynski had a little bit of an oh snap moment. Perhaps they're going to be able to make a play on him. Yeah, see, and to me, this is kind of comes with experience. Pierzynski being the free swinger that he is, you don't have to groove a fastball there. I think if you just, try to pick the corner down around the knees, he's going to go ahead and swing at that one too. Hendricks, a guy who prides himself on keeping the walks down, just 23 free passes at Iowa this year in 102 innings.
Nothing in 1 on the rookie Oscar Taveras.
And when you're a control pitcher, you have to be that guy. You have to continue to stick to your plan, try to work corners, keep the ball on the knees, regardless of the count, unless it's a real weak hitter.
Buena got right over there that time. That one ended up out of play about 5 rows back. So it's Hall of Fame day. Here's a question. Go back 100 years to 1914. You go to a big league game, or have gone over the last century. Percentage, just give a percentage. What are the odds, the chance that you would see a Hall of Fame player in a random major league game? There is a blank percent chance you would see a Hall of Fame.
Okay. Do you have an answer to this?
Yes.
From any point from 1914
basically
on,
the last century. The last century. If you go to a big league game.
I was going to go with 11%.
Okay. It's fouled back. Well, of course, now, I mean, today, we don't know if there are any Hall of Famers because you've got to wait 5 years until they retire. The answer is you would have a 3 and 4 chance. 75, 76%.
Wow, I was really close.
Well, I said my guess was 4%. I was way lower than you.
Now, is that weighted towards the early days because a lot more guys got in earlier on. I think
probably. So, for instance, as Taveras hits a ground ball with Bonifacio for the out. Bruce Sutter of the 1978 Cubs appeared in 64 games. All right, so right there is almost half the Cubs season. So if you think about it that way.
Right, if one team, if you watch the Cubs in the 60s.
You watch the Giants,
all those Hall of
Willie
Famers.
Mays' career,
yeah,
Greg Maddux, all these guys,
So you're a young kid like me growing up in northern New York in the late 60s
never saw
and 70s,
a game that didn't have a Hall of Fame.
Going to a Jerry Park, and we'd go see the Braves, so we saw Aaron a lot. We saw Seaver. We saw the Cubs, so we saw Ernie and Ronnie and company.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikes on John Jay.
Yeah, that's a great point. We saw the Giants, so we would have seen Mays.
Yankee fans with Derek Jeter, I mean, he'll be a first ballot guy. Yeah, I didn't really think through the answer when I guessed. Because you think about the small percentage of players
that actually get in
to the Hall. Two and two. Let's see where this one was.
Just a wee bit off that inside corner, but good work. Don't give up on it. Jay, high average hitter, uses the whole field.
Jay swings and misses on a nice changeup. Brzezinski stranded at third. 1-0 St. Louis. Welcome back. We've got a few odd couples in the ballpark today. There you go. Mike Shannon on the left, Pat Hughes on the right. Right? It would be our modern day Cardinals and Cubs odd couple, maybe?
Murray the Cop.
I'm just thinking of the cigar from Shanny, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's
Had to be dressed up nice. Here's Starlin Castro. Is that one off the mask of Pierzynski? I got you thinking about this Hall of Fame question.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I like that. Well, and then so I was looking with the 3 inducted today. There's been 22 managers now inducted into the Hall of Fame, so it's pretty good for 3 to go in 1 induction ceremonies. Only 19 prior throughout the entire history of the game. It's fairly unique.
Yep.
I guess it can't be fairly unique. It's either unique or not.
Seats, and I think, as you said, if you go back, fewer teams and more Hall of Famers used to get in, except for this year, obviously. It might be a little tougher today than it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. In fact, there's no question.
I guess the fun exercise would be to just pick a random year, and then just go through the rosters.
Or just go through the games
and see how many guys are Hall of Famers.
Two and two the count. Cued back to the pitcher. Wainwright knocks it down and makes the play. Cub fans, make sure you check out Len and JD's baseball blog at WGNTV.com. Sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your nationwide insurance agent, serving the area for 36 years to join the nation. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. We have some sound from Cooperstown. Greg Maddux talking about Wrigley Field, and JD on the Cubs lineup of the future. Now Valbuena. The Yanks one right into the middle of the first baseman. All right, so 1970, just for fun. Just some random guys who played that year. McCovey with the Giants. Bench, Perez with the Reds. Williams, Banks, Sano with the Cubs. Aaron with the Braves. Torrey in St. Louis. We'll count Joe, even though he went in as a manager.
Gibson and Brock would have been there, right?
Yep. I mean, you've got most of the league covered already. And Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. Think about how many years he played. That's just the National League. One strike on Coughlin. Robinson, Yastrzemski. Over the American League. Killebrew.
Carew. Kaline.
Aparicio.
What year? You're 1970?
1970. Just kind of picking.
What was the Cleveland Indians? What do they have going on? My goal is now to find a club in any given year without all of
that one.
That era.
Cut off by Carpenter. He makes a play. Quick look, don't see one. The odd couple continues. 1-0 Cardinals.
Cubs no score. The 70 celebration continues through the end of this homestand. This series ends today, but we got the Rockies in for 4 starting tomorrow night. Make sure to visit WrigleyField100.com for all the planned 70s festivities. Tickets at Cubs.com.
Charlie's Angels theme in the background. 1 strike on Adam Wainwright. 1-1 now.
Wainwright can swing it, 233 average. Also work a walk.
Two bounces to Castro.
There were 3 little girls who went to the police academy.
Snapping off a lot of gunshots there.
That's the one theme you kind of want the visual.
Very hazardous.
You don't just want the music,
At the
right?
end of the day,
but I took them
wasn't
away
a really
from
good
all
show,
that,
was it?
And now they work for me.
Did it matter?
My name
all
is
those
Charlie.
kind of copy shows back in the day.
Carpenter led off the game with a single, but then was eliminated on a double play ball.
What's more realistic, Farrah Fawcett taking somebody down with a karate chop, or Cannon? Or Buddy Epson, Barnaby Jones running somebody down in his loafers.
Whenever I ask questions like that, my wife says, it's a TV show.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
One drilled out into left center. Carpenter on his way to second. He's going to be out by a mile. Really surprised. He tried to do it. It'll go 8-6-4.
Got a little swim move there to avoid the tag. He's pressing his case out at second base with Mike Malinsky, and now Mike Matheny's going to come out in support. And, the ball was deep. It was towards the alley.
Oh, it just went right to Bonifacio, my bad.
Just trying to, that's one of those plays. If the throw is accurate, you look bad, but understandable that Carpenter would try to force the issue there. Yeah, it looked like he got in there before the tag.
Yep, they're going to challenge it. And I think this one will be overturned. That's not the other angle seemed to show that he got his hand in. Well, he made chicken salad out of something else.
Yeah, well,
it appears.
He did. And again, because of the depth of that ball, the fact that Alcantara has not played a lot of outfield in his career, you could understand that maybe in their meetings they would say, look, ball towards the alley out there, let's try to take some extra bases, force this kid to make an accurate throw. And in this instance, Arizmendi did. He made a heck of a play. Carpenter with a little sleight of hand at second base appeared to avoid the tag. That's the other thing that replay does now. It used to be the ball beat the runner, you get the ball down, looks out to everybody, out to the call, and you move on. Now, middle infielders or anybody applying a tag, you're going to have to be a little more forceful. You make sure you get in there and dive on a guy if you have to dive on him to get the out. Carpenter behind the cage there looks like he's a prisoner waiting to be paroled. Been called out, but hoping for a little reprieve.
This should not take very long. It's that one angle we just showed you that seemed to be pretty definitive.
We got the old-time unis with the modern-age technology at play here.
Now, Carpenter actually benefited from a bad slide because his arms never really got extended as the glove went down, which allowed him to go around it.
Well, and you and I, we both talk about the head first slide and how dangerous it can be, but here's an instance where it's hard to have that kind of ability to manipulate your legs when you're going feet first into a base like you can with your hands.
It's a great point. Dissecting this thing like it's the Zapruder film. Well, I'm surprised it's taking this long.
Yeah. My point of view, the longer it takes, the better chance that it benefits the Cubs, because our look was fairly quick and fairly convincing. Let's take a look. Looks to me like that hand has got the corner of the bag before the tag is applied to the chest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Call stands. Call confirm. Yeah.
Cubs got a big break there.
I think they just didn't. They felt like they didn't have enough to overturn it. I'm guessing when they looked at it, they probably said, "Well, you know what? He looked safe, but we called him out, and we can't tell for sure. He's going to have to stay behind bars for a while."
So single and out, 8-4. Okay. This has been, I think, your biggest conundrum with replay, and I think this is a great example of it. what seems to be a fairly definitive shot, trying to figure out what is considered to be conclusive evidence. But as we said when this started, you have human beings interpreting technology. There's no sort of buzzer or thing that goes off that gives you a 100%.
Yeah. So, you know, there's major league umpires that are working the video replay room back in New York. It's part of their rotation. So they're looking at that, and there may be some guys that will look at a play and go, he was safe. Hey, fellas, here's what I got. He's safe. Move on. And other guys are going to look at it and go, he looks safe, but I can't tell for sure. Whatever you called on the field stays.
Nice play. Well, that ball was hit hard. And out at first to end the inning. Yeah, we're getting tweets saying, no, you guys are wrong. He was out. You could see it on the replay. So everybody sees.
They got bigger TVs at home than we got.
Something different. Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage the game along with Rick Renteria, log on to WGNTV.com. Right now, click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Bottom three now, Castillo, Sweeney, and Hendricks for the first time. Yeah, it's funny getting some of the reaction on Twitter, just talking to people in our truck, as that ball's lifted to deep center. Jay is back, and he can't make the play, and he tumbles to the ground as Castillo will have a double. First hit for the Cubs.
First ball to leave the infield for the Cubs, and it left the infield in a big way. Almost a solo home run for Wellington Castillo. We'll have to settle for a leadoff double. Much better for Castillo the last week or so. Good effort by Jay. Got leather on it. Couldn't haul it in.
Chance here at the bottom of the order. And it's Ryan Sweeney who has homered in each game of the set. A strike called. It was the 0-1. Yeah, I mean, the reaction we're getting is that there's no 100% conclusive view of the finger on the bag. And I guess, yes, there has to be an assumption that He did touch it, and I understand that. I guess my point is the common sense part of it seemed to indicate he was on. But then
But this is the
we
way
go back
this
and forth
was
between common
interpreted.
sense and right.
Well, the way they interpret it here is the way I've been led to believe it should be interpreted. And unless we see something that we slam dunk know that the call was wrong, we're going to stick with the call on the field.
So right there, they're saying that left hand was, you cannot see that it was on the bag. Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that.
I just want to see uniformity. I want to see the decision making, the same every time.
Jay makes the catch, so Sweeney is out. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question also is, do they have freeze frames there that are not blurry? That's about the only way you could see a finger touch the bag. Well, and the other part is the call was out. If the call was safe, it would not have been overturned either. Not a bunting spot here now. Runner at second with one out.
Good mechanics, good positioning there by Malinsky, the umpire.
The only thing is Malinsky can't see the glove.
Right.
He can see Carpenter's hand.
Well, that'll be the next technology. You have wires all over the top of the ballparks, robo cameras pointing down from on high.
I think they've tried to figure out how to do that, but I think because the ball, pop-ups, it's a little tricky in getting those cameras in certain spots. Adams will pick it up. You could have a camera on the cap of every umpire.
And one on every base. No chance for Bonifacio to be a hero here and cash in this leadoff double. Bonifacio 3 out of 14 in his career against Adam Wainwright.
Curve for a strike.
Balbuena, Sweeney, Castillo, all with really good numbers against Wainwright coming into this ball game.
Cutter and a swing and a miss as he topples over 0-2.
Literally brought him to his knees.
The other great line someone tweeted is an umpire once said to him, coaching a kids game, if he wasn't out, he should have been. Carpenter shouldn't have even run in the first place. Wainwright got to the bag. He's really good over there. And Adams got it to him quickly. It just beat the speedy Bonifacio. Cubs waste the leadoff double. Still 1-0. continues its decade-inspired menu, and this particular homestand, remember, we've got 4 coming up against the Rockies this week. This might be my favorite decade at this point. We've got the pulled pork dog. That's that. The Kraft breaded chicken Parmesan sandwich. And the Kraft Classic Tuna Melt homestand special. Holiday, who homered in the first, swings and misses. Pulled pork dog is available all season. It's a Vienna beef hot dog topped with pulled pork, barbecue sauce, and coleslaw.
It's a meal in a bun.
I'm partial to the tuna melt.
You should get after it.
Well, wait till break.
Go ahead, kill it.
Well,
makes for good TV when you're slamming a sandwich and you can't talk and food's coming out of your mouth. People really like it.
Jump in.
I cut up the chicken parm suitable for sharing.
He's diving in. The ball is outside. How is it?
The texture, the crunch, you get a little bit of the crunch, you get the breaded in there, and the sauce, and you get the cheese.
Very nice.
First you take the bread, then you get the cheese. Oh, it's good. Really good.
Sinker inside.
My apologies to anyone I grossed out. I've had a fantasy about being on food TV.
You'd be good.
Probably a show to be made there, right? The whole baseball and food and traveling around the country to different cities.
Absolutely. We kind of do that,
yeah,
on our broadcasts. Hendricks will make the throw, although really unnecessary. Infield hit. So Holiday has homered and hit about a 19-foot single. This Wednesday, July 30th, the Cubs take on the Rockies at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs Benjamin Moore t-shirt. Tickets are still available. Go to Cubs.com to purchase your seats today.
This world is
oh, Mary Tyler Moore Show, Benjamin Moore. Oh, Lou. Hendricks didn't really go after that ball with a great sense of urgency. May have just determined that he wasn't going to be able to make a play and didn't want to make a mistake. Got the ground ball thing going again today, as he did last time out. Cardinals have hit into more double plays than any team in the National League.
Topper toward first, and it's going to kick foul. Welcome the newest Cup fan into the world, Bentley Alexander. Congrats to Bentley's parents. Don't have a name, but congrats. Justin sent us a tweet. Fly out toward Alcantara. Holiday halfway to second. Will now head back to first. Happy 7th birthday to Anaya Santiago. Peralta grounded out to third his first time up.
Hendricks doesn't get a lot of swings and misses. Mike Matheny might want to think about playing a little hit and run, stay out of the double play. Matt Holliday can make things awfully uncomfortable for a middle infielder trying to turn two. One of the best in the business at applying pressure. This would be a good count to put a play on if you were inclined. It's likely to be around the strike zone. That's kind of his game anyway. There is a downside to it, of course, from the Cardinals' point of view. If you're putting a hit and run play, you'd be forcing a powerful guy like Peralta, and he does have 14 home runs, to swing at just about anything, and he's a guy who could work a favorable count and hit the ball out of this ballpark. Not helping the left today, though, is it?
No.
Looks like it's going to help to right, knock it down to left.
It's going to carry all the way out to Sweeney.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
We know who's batting. We didn't have to tell you. Brzezinski.
I thought maybe they were chanting roof, roof.
One ball, no strikes. Very comfortable day here at the ballpark. Sun has temporarily disappeared behind the clouds, but I think the outfielders mind a bit.
Brzezinski playing this season at 37 years of age. Broke in with the Twins way back in 1998. Been remarkably durable.
Swing and a miss on the changeup, 2-2. That's his best pitch.
Starts at the outside corner and just continues to fade away. Same pitch he got the strikeout on John Jay with.
Strike three and a sinker. Crowd loves it as AJ has a word with Mike Winters.
Cubs welcome to Staff Sergeant. Warm Cubs welcome to Staff Sergeant Edwards. The Cubs and Bank of America thank you for your service, sacrifice, and dedication.
Let's take a look at these last two pitches from Kyle Hendricks. We talk a lot about pitching IQ, pitchability. Here's what I'm talking about. Look at the changeup fading down and away. Then he starts the same pitch in the same exact spot, but instead of the fading changeup, it's a little comeback cut fastball to the outside corner. Just beautiful work by Kyle Hendricks. You know, you hear baseball people talk about, well, his stuff will play up. Well, the really good changeup will make the subpar velocity play up if you can command it the way he just did.
Alcantara out in the shallow center, and the catch is made by the second baseman Wong. And just to follow up on our military recognition, Staff Sergeant Lorenzo Edwards, currently serving as the training chief for Marine Air Control Group 48. Have him here. Sinker is low and away. Imagine that catcher's gear, the navy blue that he wore with the Red Sox, still works with the Cardinals. Rizzo sends one high in the air down into the right field corner, and that ball is foul. Hey, tomorrow night is Girl Scout night here at the ballpark. We want to thank Girl Scouts for dropping off a box of cookies to the booth.
That'd be good after your pulled pork dog.
I agree. The traditional shortbread cookies. Two and two. And make sure you there you go. Come out and support the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana tomorrow night. Girl Scouts of all ages, their families. Purchase specially priced tickets through the Cubs special events page. You get a commemorative patch. Tickets and details are available only through Cubs.com/special events. It's tomorrow night against the Rockies. This was this box of cookies from Brownie Troop 23041, Alphonsus Academy and Center for the Arts. Line to right. Taveras just able to get a glove on it. Rizzo on his way to second. He's going to be out. Overly aggressive base running here for both teams. Carpenter thrown out earlier. Now Rizzo trying to stretch it into a double.
And for my money, justifiable in both counts, and because of the depth and the angle that Carpenter hit the ball, I thought it made sense for him to go for it. And Rizzo, after the ball got by Taveras, understandable that he would push it. You know, you walk that fine line between aggressive and reckless, but Taveras takes 3-4 steps past the baseball and comes up and fires a seed into second base to get Rizzo. One thing you have to remind yourself when you get back to the dugout after a play like this, did I make sure that I sold out going down the line initially? You know, sometimes you see hitters kind of going down the line 3/4 speed, then there's a little misplay, and then they turn it on. Had they busted it out of the box, might have been able to get 2 bases easily. One where you're not getting any help from your coach. The play's in front of you. You're reading it. Well, you know, in the 70s, it was a more daring time. Players took more chances on the bases. It's been well chronicled.
Line to Adams. Ball hit hard, but 4 and out. Cubs with 2 hits, but no runs so far. Taveras threw out Rizzo, trying to stretch a single into 2. He'll lead off and accepts ball 1 from Hendricks. A couple of rookies who might be battling for many years to come in this rivalry. Hendricks from Southern California, went to Dartmouth. Got his degree from Dartmouth in economics last year. One changeup. Punched out into deep left. That ball had some carry to it, and Coughlin makes the grab.
Welcome back.
Will be welcoming us back to the Budweiser patio on Tuesday night on WGN. Jorge De La Rosa and Edwin Jackson, the pitching matchup, 7 o'clock Central Time. Sebastian. Classic theme from Welcome Back, Kotter. What? Where? Ooh, ooh.
You could do a whole Sweat Hog review.
Mr. Kotter, I got a note. Hi there.
Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Welcome back.
Signed, Epstein's mother. Did I ever tell you about my Uncle Lewis?
Which one had the Uncle Lewis?
Mr. Kotter, right? Did you ever tell about my Uncle Morty? Castro. That's Jay. 2 down.
What was the principal's name?
Woodman.
Mr. Woodman. The Woodman. Yeah.
Sweat Hogs.
I think he went on to appear in Seinfeld as the library cop, Bookman or whatever his name was.
Mr. Woodman?
Yeah.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Kyle Hendricks standing tall again here today. Tough assignment, matched up against Adam Wainwright. He was allowed just the 1 run. The 2-out home run by Matt Holliday in the first.
Bat grounder to short. And Hendricks with a 1-2-3 at the bottom of the order. Cubs trail this one 1-0 in the 5th. Replay brought to you by Xfinity. Jose Oquendo leaving a little snack for Jose Molina. Actually, Yadier Molina, Jose's younger brother, sent out those cheese crackers for Jose, who stuffed them in his back pocket. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Back catcher today, Tony Cruz. There's Jose Oquendo, secret weapon.
Yadier doing his part to make sure he remains the fastest Molina in the league.
It's quite an award to win. Albuena started for the Cubs here in the 5th.
Got a little 70s going on.
Mark Boland from T-Rex. Changeup from Wainwright. 1 ball, no strikes. Wainwright's from Georgia. Brunswick, Georgia. 3-time All-Star. He's won 2 Gold Gloves for his work as a defender on the mound. High in the air to right. Wind pushing this ball foul. Well, on our fantasy island, we would have Adam Wainwright and Clayton Kershaw in the same rotation. Wouldn't be fair, would it?
No. Pretty impressive numbers that they've been able to put together. Wainwright obviously has been around a bit longer than Kershaw, but 2 very solid guys. Wainwright from the right side, Kershaw from the left.
Three and 2 the count. So Kershaw pitched last night for the Dodgers, just trying to figure out if the Cubs will face him next weekend. I guess it would depend on if the Dodgers have an off day, which they do tomorrow.
I guess it'll just depend on how Don Mattingly wants to treat that off day. Does he give everybody an extra day's rest? Does he want to keep Kershaw on his 5th day?
Well hit to deep center. Jay goes back at the warning track. He makes a grab right in front of the 400-foot marker. That's a heck of a play by John Jay.
Almost took away extra bases from Wellington Castillo to lead off the 3rd inning. This time he does indeed take away at least 2 from Valbuena. This ball really smoked to straightaway center field. He's been driving the ball well lately. He's hit it hard twice today. A line out to first, and now this. Long drive that dies in the glove of John Jay out there in straightaway center field. Tough break for Valbuena.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's a really good chance the Cubs will face Kershaw on Friday. He's got Greinke ahead of him and Ryu right behind him in the rotation. I'm guessing they'll stay in line.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in that rotation they're looking to mess with.
Be on WGN Friday night. Two and 1 to Coughlin. Castillo on deck. So that would mean 5 straight lefties, possibly 6, that the Cubs will face consecutively. Flande, De La Rosa, Anderson, and Matzik, all lefties for the Rockies in that series coming up. And then possibly Kershaw and Ryu to start the Dodgers series. Good news is it looks like Justin Ruggiano should be ready to get back in the starting lineup tomorrow night. With that mild groin strain, Junior Lake will get a lot of opportunities this week as well.
So the Rockies have an entire left-handed rotation right now. It's amazing.
Franklin Morales starts today. They're trying to sweep the Pirates. Backdoor curve misses. First walk issued by Wainwright.
Take a look at the Cubs' forward upcoming schedule. We're talking about all those lefties. The Rockies in town. For 4, there's the first 3 of them. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday evening. CSN right back here on GN on Tuesday, and then CSN on Wednesday. Ford, go further in any one of Ford's many fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
A one-out base runner in the pitch to Castillo is taken inside for a ball. 21st career start for Wainwright. His 4th this season. Came in with an ERA of 6 here in 2014 against the Cubs. He is 6-1 lifetime at Wrigley Field with an ERA in the 4s. Had won his first 6 decisions here before losing earlier 6-5 on May 2nd. Second in the league in ERA, 2.02.
And below 2 most of the year. Well, with work today, it's inched back below 2. There's the numbers against the Cubs. Better here than at home.
One note sums up his season better than any. Almost half his starts, 9 of his 20 starts, scoreless in at least 7 innings.
It's the definition of an ace, isn't it?
I would say so.
Handing the ball, and they don't have to think about it till the 7th inning. Does everything right. Good hitter. Fields his position. Shuts down the running game. Not as easily now that Yadier Molina's not back there.
Mr. Woodman apparently was not in the library.
He wasn't?
No.
It's disappointing. I wanted that to be the case. He kind of looked like him. Why let the truth get in the way of a good story?
Good try, though.
Coughlin leaning, thought about it, and stopped.
John Sylvester White and Mr. Woodman. I guess it was Philip Baker Hall. No. Well, he had 3 names.
Maybe he changes his name.
Yeah, they do look alike. I can see where you make that assumption. Ground ball, knocked down. Carpenter's going to have time, though. Coughlin will get to third. But he's there with 2 outs.
Coughlin, excuse me, moving with the pitch, so the play was going to be to first base anyway, and the sharply hit ground ball. The bobble created an opportunity where Coughlin was able to scramble on over to third. Sweeney won't get a chance to swing.
See, I know where you made your mistake. His character was Lieutenant Bookman.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Woodman.
Woodman, Bookman, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought in some small way Seinfeld was playing homage to Cotter character.
So they walk Sweeney intentionally to get to Hendricks.
Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds.
SWAT.
I recognize the music, but I don't really remember the show.
Rhythm Heritage. If you want to find that theme, you can go to Rhythm Heritage's album Disco-fied, 1975.
I probably had it on my iPod back in the day.
The B-side to that is I wouldn't treat a dog the way you treated me.
sounds more like a country song. What an opportune time this would be for a first major league knock.
Just got a piece of that cutter as he fouls it. 1-2. Getting some tweets. People noticed in Chris Coughlin's at bat that he appeared to have a Mike Olt bat. That is not out of the ordinary. Guys borrow each other's bats all the time. Swing a teammate's bat in batting practice, say, I like it. Give me a few. As Hendricks takes a called third, 2 walks in the inning, but no runs. It's still 1-0.
Hello world.
This one well hit, deep center field. Robinson going back, looking up. Bye-bye, bye-bye baseball. Soler, some Soler power there. Over the wall in center field for his first home run as an I Cub.
With Chris Bryant on base, Jorge Soler with his first AAA home run. A 2-run shot. Iowa trails Memphis 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th in Des Moines.
That happened just today?
Happened just moments ago.
Moments ago, wow.
We take you to Des Moines.
This
live
just in.
On tape.
Javi Baez hit a couple of 3-run home runs yesterday, one on each end of a doubleheader.
1-0 on the Matt Holliday first inning home run. He'll hit third here in the 6th. Change up from Hendricks to Carpenter is wide for a ball.
Carpenter had a 3-hit game, including a home run on Friday. Hitless yesterday.
Play Bonifacio. A lot of outs recorded today on balls really squared up. See, there you go.
Yeah.
I can see why you would think those were the same guys.
Welcome back.
Of course, when Cotter was being made so many years before the Seinfeld show, you have to put all the years on that guy.
Right. Yep.
Mr. Woodman would have had to really aged, really well to be the guy on the right.
Line drive, base hit, Colton Wong. Bring up Holliday, who's got 2 hits, a home run and an infield single.
Only 3 National League players have grounded into more double plays than Holiday. He's done it 15 times. Casey McGee leads the way with 20, in case you were wondering. Last year, Holiday led the league, counting into 31. There we go.
As you were saying. Ding, 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 ding.
Nice when they read the script.
That's it. Inning over. 1-0. Time for our Honda game summary as we look at the starting pitchers today. Both have been really good. Start something special with great leases and low financing on a new Honda. Visit shophonda.com or visit your local Honda dealer. Finally got a piece of the pie.
George Jefferson. What a character he was.
And that was a spinoff, right? I believe
All in the
George
Family.
Jefferson, yes, was on All in the Family.
And then I think Florence, the maid, I think she had her own show too. I don't think that one did all that well.
Bonifacio with an infield pop-up long will make the catch. The one I like is Mork and Mindy was a spinoff. Do you know that?
Happy Days?
Yeah. Mork from Mork. I'm assuming they knew they were going to do the series and then just kind of popped them in there just to introduce them. Yeah. See, there you go. Jonathan Winter's character on that show, didn't he age backwards? He got younger because he was from Mork. So maybe Mr. Woodman got younger. I want to send out best wishes to Madeline Hazelip, Wrigley Field usher, home recovering from surgery. Feeling better, Hazel. Happy 94th birthday to Josephine Taylor from Rockford, Illinois. Lifelong Cubs fan celebrating with her family here at Wrigley Field. She's been coming to the park since she was 6. That's rolled into right. Alcantara's aboard.
Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Pat Fitzgerald, football coach at Northwestern, will do the honors today. That's the Rockford Files theme music you're hearing. To fit with your group here from Rockford. Right? Big chance here for Rizzo.
1 ball, no strikes. Marla Gibbs played Florence. Her show was 227. It was not a spinoff. She had her own show.
Spin-off.
She was so good as Florence, she became somebody else later.
So Florence never had a spin-off, never had a show. Did not know that. To run or not to run, that is the question. Down a run. Speed on the bases, power at the plate. Ground ball pitcher on the mound. Who's tough to run on. Ricky Renteria. This is where the game really speeds up for the manager to have to kind of process all that, make a decision as the count changes. How do I react? What's most likely to happen as we go from pitch to pitch?
One nothing Cardinals. Here's the pitch. Rizzo with a base hit. Alcantara stops at second. Back-to-back singles to bring up Castro.
It's the third and fourth hits of the ball game for the Cubs. Pitch sinking down and away, and Rizzo lifts it into right field. That uppercut swing.
JD, you were right. There were 4 episodes of a show called Checking In, starring Marla Gibbs as Florence.
There we go.
Is that the show you were thinking of?
I just remember Florence having a spin-off.
You got it. Yeah, 227 I think was her kind of big hit after the Jeffersons. So yeah, send us your favorite 70s show. And it can't be that 70s show, which did not air in the 70s. Cardinals at double play depth all around the infield. 2 on, 1 out. Castro, ball 1.
Wainwright gets ground balls with a couple different pitches. His sinker, like a lot of guys do, but he also gets a lot of ground balls on his curveball. Castro, in this situation, probably thinking hands inside the ball, center, right center. It's more likely with that approach to get the ball airborne. Hit it on a line out there towards that gap in right center.
Couldn't help himself on a curveball. 1-1. Again, we'd love to get your Cubs selfies for our fan cam segment. These days it would be the $6 billion man. Same pitch, same result. 1-2.
Very difficult for the hitter to recognize. Tight spin on this breaking ball. Starts in the zone, breaks down and away. Castro, very aggressive hitter, and there's a tendency to get a little anxious in a situation like this. Wainwright able to take advantage of that.
will try to turn it. They get one, and they get them both. 6-4-3. Wainwright got what he was looking for to end the inning. Cubs play host to the Rockies at 7:05, and the first 10,000 fans get a special mobile device power bank presented by Private Bank. Tickets are still available. Go to Cubs.com to purchase your seats today. Kyle Hendricks is still in there, trailing 1-0, and great to have with us Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald, who will conduct the stretch today. Coach, how are you?
It's great to be here. It's almost football time.
I know. Your annual visits seem to come more frequently. I think that means I'm getting old.
Yeah, I felt the same way. This is, I think, my 9th time having the great privilege to do this, and what a great game so far. Beautiful day for the final game of the series.
1-1 to Adams. A big day yesterday. You like the throwback 78 powder blue.
I was born in '74, so this takes me back to my childhood, and especially when all the games were during the day and you'd wake up and the Cubs would be on.
Adams hops into short right. Sweeney makes a catch. When does training camp start?
Well, the guys will start meetings here a week from today, and then our first practice will be this upcoming Monday. So you're a week away, so right around the corner. And tomorrow we start our media day here for the conference, and it should be a lot of fun working with our media partners and really talking about Big Ten football.
So what kind of week is this for you and your coaching staff as you kind of game plan for practice and then getting into the season?
Well, we're fortunate. We've been together almost completely as a staff for the last 9 years. Our youngest coach, Dennis Springer, has been with us for 4. So a lot of continuity. Most of that work has been done a long time ago, and a lot of media obligations for me. And now we're putting together the first 2 weeks of practice and plans, and the guys are wrapping up summer school. And before you know it, it'll be football season.
So you say, you've got a lot of continuity. You've been doing this for a long time. Personnel changes every year. How do you tweak kind of how you run things as we get into August year to year?
Well, especially for our fans, the biggest thing they'll notice is we've been a 2-quarterback system.
The base hit for Peralta
the last few years, and now obviously Trevor Simeon's our quarterback, and we'll go back to the way we were with Dan Persa and Mike Kafka, and I can keep going on with all the names, the way that we've run our offense, and I think that will hopefully maybe give us a little bit more stability. We battled through injuries a year ago at that position, and Trevor's had a great offseason and is excited to take over the leadership role.
concerns for you? I mean, where do you feel like the strengths lie for your club, and where do you have some concerns?
Well, we've got to get much better than we were a year ago at the line of scrimmage. You know, the Big Ten, like most power conferences, is a line of scrimmage league, and we just weren't consistent enough there, and that's been our big work ethic this offseason, and hopefully we'll see the fruits of that labor.
Got a pitching change. Nice hand for Hendricks. We'll be back in the 7th. Now Hendricks, who again terrific today, gave up the first inning home run to Holiday. Peralta be on his record. He's the runner at first. But all in all, JD, you got to be really happy with what the rookie has done here, especially the last 2 times out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go back from the first inning of his first start in Cincinnati, where he got squeezed a little bit. Some things broke against him. He didn't crater under that pressure. First major league start, settled in. Pitched a very competitive ball game. Then really good last time out. Really good again today. And you could tell, I mean, more times than not with a rookie pitcher, after 6 innings of 1-run baseball, he wouldn't even go back out for the 7th. But I think Rick Renteria has a lot of confidence in Hendricks. The bullpen has scuffled lately. They've given up like 16 runs in their last 5 ball games. So clearly he was just going batter to batter with Hendricks, hoping to get him through one more, but didn't want to ask too much out of him. Another solid effort for the kid here today.
Another day, that home run was a pop fly, too. I mean, that barely made it.
Here's A.J. Przinsky as Wright will throw over to first. We're with Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald. I'm perusing your schedule coming up, and it's never easy, is it? But some really interesting home dates coming up this year. Wisconsin, Nebraska in October.
Well, they're sure it's an incredibly challenging home slate from a Big Ten conference standpoint for us. But to start the year with, a BCS opponent or a top power conference in Cal at home, and then play, a local rival here in Northern is going to be a huge challenge. So those are 2 games that we've got to start the season fast with as we go into then a bye week in our third week of the season.
Fly ball out in the left. Coughlin makes a catch on the warning track. Wildcats will play in South Bend in November as well.
For our fans, it's a great non-conference schedule. We just got to find a way to win. It is, but you look at like I said, our home slate is terrific, and the fans here of Chicago have been incredibly supportive of Chicago's Big Ten team, and we appreciate that. And we've got to get back, like I said earlier, to reestablish our standards and get back to where we've been, and that's competing for the Big Ten championship. And 5 of the last 6 years in the postseason, need to continue to get back to where we were, and then take the necessary steps to get where we want to be, and that's competing for a championship. And feel great about the talent, like you alluded to earlier. It's a new year every year, and 17 returning starters on paper. If you include Trevor as a quarterback, it's 18. As much experience coming back as we've had in my 9 years, and now we just need to really improve in training camp and start the season fast.
1-0 on Taveras.
What is the state of the talent level in the high school here in the Chicago area?
It's outstanding. It's the backbone of our recruiting. We're going to always start and end our recruiting here in Chicagoland, and we're very proud of the job that we've done, and most importantly, all of our young men that have come into our program. And this is something I'm most pleased with from our staff and support staff. Going on my 9th season, every young man that's stayed with us for 4 years has graduated, and that's unmatched in college football, and that's a great job. Number one, of the parents of the young men that we recruit, and the young men coming in understanding why they're at Northwestern, and that's to get the best degree in college football, and then we work our tail off as a staff to be the best player development staff to get them prepared for life and the NFL, and to see the success that we're having with the guys as they matriculate out of our program. I think we've got 15 guys bouncing around the NFL right now, and everybody employed that's played for us. It's something that we're really proud of in a day that's tough. And that credit goes to, again, the young men, their families, and to our support staff and our assistant coaches. Really proud of the job they do.
Do you have guys you have coached who have come back or have stayed and been part of your staff or program in some?
Yeah, they have. I enjoy that.
There's a base hit.
Because, it's funny. They get a new sense of what reality truly is.
Yeah.
When you're a player, you just show up and everything's all set up for you. And when you get into the coaching, you didn't, especially when I was a young GA, graduate assistant, and watching some of our younger coaches, they just don't realize as student athletes exactly what all goes into the day-to-day to get prepared for them to show up. And we're proud of the young men that have gone through our program, that have gone into coaching. But like every person that goes on, you want to hope that they have great experience on the field, but more importantly, be prepared for life and move forward to be great fathers and husbands and productive members of the community they choose to live in. And I'm not sure there is a better place than ours in college football from that standpoint.
There's Jay. We have chronicled this weekend. He's been really good against lefties this year. He takes a pitch low and inside for ball one. Time we have you here, we think about the big game against Illinois 2010 here at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, that's a great and bitter memory. But we got what we deserved. There's no doubt about that. And we look forward to coming back to the friendly confines, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later. And what a great environment that was for college football. I mean, it was like a bowl game atmosphere here, and just an electric atmosphere. And hopefully we're back here sooner than later, especially the years that we've got 7 home games. It makes sense to play 6 at our wonderful Ryan Field and all the pageantry that goes along with college football games on a Big Ten campus. But then to come here and have the unique aspect of playing a game at Wrigley Field is just really something that's neat and special to our guys and our fans.
2-0. Foul.
You saw the numbers for Wesley Wright versus left and right-handed hitters, and John Jay this year has worn out left-handed pitching. Does such a good job of staying in, keeping that front shoulder closed. 415 against southpaws. Not this time.
It's a strike. It's 2-2. Wind has really kicked up. Going out toward that right field foul pole.
So who's the favorite in the Big Ten this year?
Well, I'm sure the media did pick us, and I'm not sure who would be from a media perspective. I'm assuming the teams that won last year in Ohio State and Michigan State. The change in the divisions with adding Rutgers and Maryland, now we go to East and West truly in the Big Ten. So both Michigan State and Ohio State will be on the same side. So it's going to be a new day, a new era in Big Ten football, and we're in the West along with Illinois and Purdue, and then as you head west with Iowa and Minnesota and Nebraska. And, it's going to be, and obviously Wisconsin to our north, so it's going to be a great challenge.
Jay just got hit. So do you play every team in your division and then a couple teams from the other side?
Yeah, currently 2 crossovers or a handful of crossovers. Now in 16 we'll go to 9 conference games.
There's a shot.
Yeah, it was pretty neat seeing the purple and white in the end zones, and what a great atmosphere. And look forward again to when we get to go back, and got to change some of the things from a configuration standpoint, which will happen when that occurs. But again, what a bowl game type atmosphere that there was here that day, and really looking forward to coming back and being a part of the history and 100 years of Wrigley Field. To say we've played one of only a handful of college football games here, it's going to be really neat.
Big spot here, and Wainwright takes the at bat. That's how much confidence Mike Matheny has in his starting pitcher. He's going to let him bat here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. He's only made 83 pitches, so that's the big reason.
Yeah, if he's trailing, he probably hits for him. If he's tied, he might hit for him, but he's got a lead. There's no way he's going to hit for him.
ball, 1 strike.
And, I say that because, one, he's Adam Wainwright, one of the best pitchers in the league, and two, he swings the bat pretty well, so he's not an automatic out.
In a 233, couple of ground outs against Hendricks. And the soft liner will be caught by Anthony Rizzo. Pat Fitzgerald coming up. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Budweiser.
Western University football coach Pat Fitzgerald.
All right, Cub fans, let me hear you now. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. So let's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, let's get some runs, Cubbies. Go Cats.
Park on a nice day today, throwback day, as the Cubs and Cardinals wearing 1978 inspired unis. The Cubs without a run to this point against Adam Wainwright. Curveball strike on Luis Valbuena.
2 real good at bats today. Line to first, deep drive to center, but 0 for 2.
Pedro Strop is up. The home bullpen. Their action around baseball. They go to the bottom of the 9th in New York. The Blue Jays lead the Yankees 5-4. If Toronto wins, that would be the Jays' 2nd straight win after a 17-game Yankee Stadium losing streak. And a base hit into center. Finally rewarded.
3 good swings. Leadoff knock. In that Toronto Yankee game, Juan Francisco has hit number 16 for the Jays. Chase Headley hit his first for the Yankees, and Francisco Cervelli hit his first as well. And nice job staying back on the curveball.
Hottest team in baseball, the Rays, looking for their 10th consecutive win. but trailing as they go to the 8th, 3-2 versus Boston. Big Poppy with number 25. Ball 1 to Coghlan.
Carpenter creeping in from third base, anticipating bunt. Coghlan showing no signs of dropping down to sacrifice.
Behind 2-0.
Right about now, Mike Matheny starting to second guess himself about not hitting for Wainwright. Leadoff single, 2-0 on the next hitter.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst case scenario for a manager when he does allow his pitcher to hit in that spot. That ball crushed. But Taveras is going to make the play. Coghlan just didn't get enough air underneath it. Right on the button for an out.
Yeah, again, another hard out. There's been a handful of them at least today by the Cub hitters. Can't hit it much harder than this.
Castillo has doubled and grounded out. Segris the lefty, Manus the right-hander. We've seen both in this series.
For 4 yesterday, but been swinging it well lately. Had multi-hit games in 5 of his previous 6 ball games. He's been good against Wainwright. 6 out of 16 with 3 doubles. Very modest lead for Valbuena at first.
A curveball for strike 3.
RBI Baseball is back with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the Retro 2 button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device. Big slow curveball from Wainwright. Settles over the inside part of the plate at the knees. Some pitchers go in and out really well with their stuff. Other guys very good at changing speeds front and back. Power stuff with a good changeup. Wainwright a pretty good mix of all of that. So cutters in, sinkers away. Slow curve and a good changeup. Really try to overpower guys up in the zone with 4-seam fastballs very often.
Hitters count on a guy who's already gone deep a couple of times in the series. Nate Scherholtz, who came off the bench and homered yesterday, is on deck.
Sweeney's had success driving the ball the other way. I wonder if it makes sense for him to cheat on one inside, see if they try to crowd him. Even on 2-0, they try to jam him, but it looks like Krasinski's going to slide outside.
3-0.
Too old breaking ball trying to catch the outside corner. See, you hit a couple home runs, all of a sudden they treat you like Babe Ruth.
Oh. 3-1. Nationals shutting out the Reds 4-0 as they go to the bottom of the ninth. Doug Fister's 7 shutout frames today. He walked him. Number 3 on the day for Wainwright. Here comes a manager. Guessing he's going to go with Segrist.
Yeah, an interesting decision here from Matheny because he let Wainwright take the at bat, hoping to get, not only this inning but probably at least into the 8th, if not through the 8th. So he's kind of invested in keeping him in the ball game, and I think that's what's driving this decision to leave him in the ball game.
So for now, the lefty will wait. Long will play it on a hop. Close at first, but they got him. So the move to stay with Wainwright paid off. Still 1-0 after 7.
Love American Style. That's the owl sills. Tweet and send us your Cubs selfies at #WGN Cubs, and we may use them in our fan cam.
Great documentary on the Cowsills on Netflix at some point.
All right.
Matt Carpenter against Pedro Strop.
Happy Days was a spinoff of Love American Style.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that episode was recently on, I think, MeTV. Yeah, the Cowsills basically kind of the real Partridge family. 1-1. Whatever 70s television show knowledge I have in my brain, I'm dumping it all out on the air today. Some of it's correct, some of it's a little offline, but Carpenter with a base hit. You know what my favorite 70s show was? And it actually was a remake of a show I think aired in the 50s, and then they did it again in the late 90s. Bobby Van hosting Make Me Laugh. Do you remember that?
No, I did not.
Where essentially the contestants would come up, and then comedians of the day, including the unknown comic, they would come up and basically try to make the contestant laugh. If they could go like 90 seconds without laughing, they would get $1 a second. It was pretty good.
Feeble attempt at a bunt there by Wong. It'll go for strike one on a power sinker at 95. Second 3-hit game of the series for Carpenter.
Foul. The 70s would not be complete without the Love Boat.
That's Isaac the bartender.
Exciting and new. Come aboard.
About a double play here. 4, 6, 3. They turn it.
That's an empty AB for Wong. Asked to bunt initially, failed in that attempt, ultimately grounds into the double play. Backdoor breaking ball from Strop. Flip, fire, and 2 outs.
I believe that was Jack Jones with the vocals on the Love Boat theme. Paul Williams and Charles Fox wrote it. There's Make Me Laugh. 1979, 1980.
Jack Jones was married to Shirley Partridge, right?
See, that's what I'm talking about. We're just emptying the vault here. Sure, I guess.
Shirley Jones. We talked earlier about Holiday and how the Cubs typically, and most teams do, try to pitch him in, and haven't done that as much in this series as they had previously. Maybe they just figured Holiday was kind of getting wise to that. Now that would be a good game plan though for Strop, because unlike Hendrick, Strop is a power guy. He can run that 96 in on the hands, really make it tough for Holiday. He's a good breaking ball hitter, and he's much better, middle away with that fastball. Reds snapped a losing streak yesterday, but they're trailing the Nationals 4-2, bottom of the 9th in Cincinnati today.
Yeah, they've gotten the 2 runs in the 9th. Trying to rally here late. It's a final in New York. The Blue Jays able to hang on 5-4. Mets lead the Brewers 2-0 there in the 8th inning at Miller Park. Lucas Duda with number 18.
The DeGrom kid that we saw pitch here, pitching for the Mets today, 6 1/3 scoreless. His line, he's a good one, good young pitcher. He and Wheeler, they get Matt Harvey back healthy. They get a chance to make some noise. Not this year.
Holiday foul tips. Pedro Strop gets through the 8th without a run. The Cubs will bat trailing 1-0.
Songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew where you were then. Girls were girls and men were men.
The 1970s. All in the family. Cardinals leading on a Matt Holliday first inning home run. Kevin Segrist against Emilio Bonifacio.
Good fastball. He leans heavily on it. Throws it almost 90% of the time. He'll reach the mid-90s and beyond with it. Not having a great year. He spent some time on the shelf. We have to correct the record. Shirley Jones was married to Jack Cassidy, not Jack Jones. As I was saying that, I knew something just didn't feel right.
We're close. Yeah. It was Jack.
Yeah, it was David Cassidy, Keith Partridge, the son.
David Cassidy did the stretch a few years ago. And it was very popular with the ladies.
Yeah, man, he was a big deal back in the day. Teen idol. Lefties 323, righties 184. Suppresses power against both. Just one home run from each side of the plate against Segrist. A 41st round pick.
Yeah, not bad. Bonifacio sends one in the air to left. That's not where he makes his money. Nationals beat the Reds 4-2. That's a final.
1,234 players were selected before Segrist in the 08 draft. That guy almost never gets to the big leagues.
Oh, by the way, remember what I said about Adam Wainwright earlier? His 20 starts?
Yeah.
I think at 21 starts, 10 have gone at least 7 innings, and he hasn't allowed a run, including today.
Well, you had a feeling he was going to be on, right? Having scuffled last time out.
Bounced right to Carpenter. Alcantara's out.
Well, I'll say this: the Cubs, they hit a lot of balls hard off of them, just couldn't really put anything together. That leadoff double in the third from Castillo, couldn't make anything out of that. That was down near the bottom of the batting order. A couple guys on in the fifth. We got a big double play off the bat of Starlin Castro in the sixth. I'm sure Wainwright would say that was the biggest pitch he made this afternoon. After back-to-back singles by Alcantara and Rizzo, we got Castro to bounce into that 6-4-3 double play.
Fastball away to Rizzo. Cubs still just a swing away here from tying it up. There's fireballing Trevor Rosenthal. His major league leading 31st save yesterday.
Looking for something to drive. It's not anything you're going to drive, and the call went his way now. 3-1. He should get a pitch. Segrist worked an inning and a third here on Friday. That was his first outing since coming off the disabled list. Back towards the end of May, he went on.
Adams behind the bag takes it unassisted, and the inning is over. We will go to the ninth. That's St. Louis 1 and the Cubs nothing.
Those were the days.
Ninth inning. Matt Adams fouls one off himself as Hector Rondon is in.
For the 38th time, and Hector 2-3 with a 372. 12 saves and 15 tries. The 3 blown saves have all come here at home.
All right, I got one more for you for our 70s extravaganza. In the form of a trivia question. It's a little bit in the deep track area. We haven't mentioned the Gong Show yet.
No.
A guy who would appear occasionally on the Gong Show was named the Unknown Comic. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
The Unknown Comic is actually known. Adams swung at one way out in front of home plate for a strikeout.
Really? I thought he was kind of like Racer X. I thought you never could know who he was.
My point is,
Oh, you know who he is?
I know who he is, and he was a comedian who appeared as the Unknown Comic and as himself on Make Me Laugh. Do you know the name of the Unknown Comic?
I do not.
He's Canadian.
Howie Mandel.
No. His name is Murray Langston.
That is
so
deep.
If you want to YouTube Murray Langston, you will find some stand-up back in the day, and you'll go, wow, he sounds like the Unknown Comic. That's the same guy. There he is with the bag over his head, Chuck Barris.
What a train wreck that was. Would the Unknown Comic, would Murray Langston, was his style comically when he was
very
out
similar.
of the bag? Was it the same? Yeah.
Yes. Castro gets Peralta.
Four, 5, 6 for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. Do it off that man right there, closer Trevor Rosenthal.
There's Pierzynski. Back. I didn't think when Holiday went deep in the first inning that we'd be sitting here in the ninth 1-0, the wind blowing out. That's the case.
Pitchers have stood up to the conditions here today.
There's Murray Langston. Does it feel like I just revealed Santa Claus's real identity? Yeah, that's the Unknown Comic.
Bruce Wayne.
Bounce to Rizzo. Rondon over quickly. Underhand toss. Bottom of the ninth, Castro, Valbuena, and Coughlin against Trevor Rosenthal. brought to you by Budweiser. Designate a driver and enjoy the great times. Ford, manufacturers of America's best-selling brand. Check out our best-selling lineup at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Cardinals 1, Cubs nothing. Last opportunity. We're going to see some velocity here in the ninth.
Rosenthal, the hard-throwing right-hander. Had his ups and downs, though. 3.40 ERA. He's blown 4 save chances. Walks primarily have gotten him in trouble when he has struggled. Good life up in the zone at 97. Starlin Castro 5 out of 11 against Rosenthal.
Leadoff single in the game yesterday, but then eliminated on a double play ball.
Best secondary pitch is his changeup. He's mostly fastball, changeup, and occasionally curveball or a little cutter.
He's trying to save it for Adam Wainwright, who's trying to become the National League's first 13-game winner. Actually, there hasn't been a 13-game winner yet in the majors. We'll look around today to see if that has happened. I don't believe so. Pop up. Wong in shallow right's got it. One away. Swing and a miss on that change you mentioned. So if Rosenthal gets these final 2 outs, as I said, Wainwright the first 13-game winner. Rosenthal would be the first closer to get to 32 saves. Came in tied with Craig Kimbrell.
A little respect for Valbuena's ability to get to the fastball. He goes changeup to start. Valbuena's had the best swings of anybody in the Cubs club today. He's hit it hard all 3 times. Another changeup. Rosenthal willing to commit to the off-speed pitch, and a lot of pitching coaches, they believe you shouldn't throw the same pitch 3 times in a row.
On the ground, backhanded by Wong. Jump throw. Out at first. Big play by the rookie Wong.
Boy, tough luck for Valbuena today. 1 out of 4, and could have been so much more. Some hard hit balls. This time a spectacular play by Wong.
It's left up to Coughlin. Rosenthal back quickly.
Go ahead, cheat on one here.
Even when you cheat on that, you still might be late.
Yep, in 97, it looked like he had a little running action too. He's trying to get out in front of one, cut it off, and pull it. And that's the approach you're looking for. 2 outs, nobody on. You got a 2-0 fastball. Well-placed fastball.
Up the middle, base hit. So they keep it alive for Castillo. Staying alive. Second time he's been on.
Good at bat there. Took the big swing on 2-0, didn't get it, and then the 2-1 pitch, he lines right back through the middle. Run or not to run? That is the question. I say run.
I would agree with you. Especially now.
Ball off the plate. Yeah, Rosenthal not really trying to hasten his delivery home. Brzezinski doesn't throw all that well. Chances of getting an extra base hit down in the count against Rosenthal, not good. Outfielders are really deep.
Being held by Adams, not running, swing, and they miss, and the Cardinals take the final 2 games of this series. Final score today, Cardinals 1 and the Cubs nothing. We'll be back in a moment.